In the bustling heart of Balogun Market, where the vibrant colors of female fashion filled every corner, Madame Fash reigned supreme. Her business was a force to be reckoned with, built brick by brick from humble beginnings. She imported the finest female wares, and customers from all corners of Lagos clamored to buy from her shop. She was feared and respected, a woman who had carved her empire from nothing. Among the young apprentices learning under Madame Fash was Yemi, the 18-year-old son of her childhood friend. His intelligence, industrious nature, and quick learning had made him stand out like a beacon among the other boys. Every customer, every transaction, and every responsibility he handled with such ease, and it unnerved Madame Fash. Secretly, she resented him. She couldn't help but compare him to her own son, Tunde. Tunde was the same age as Yemi, but the complete opposite. While Yemi immersed himself in the business, Tunde chased a different dream. He was a musician, always strumming his guitar and scribbling down lyrics. The melodies that filled their home infuriated Madame Fash. She had no interest in songs and rhythms. She wanted Tunde to take over her empire, the empire she had painstakingly built after her husband died. She saw her legacy in danger, and it pained her that Yemi, someone else's son, was the perfect heir she had always dreamed of. The more Yemi excelled, the harsher Madame Fash became towards him. "You're just a useless boy," she would hiss whenever he made the smallest mistake. "You'll never amount to anything." Her words, sharp as blades, were designed to cut deep. But Yemi was resilient. He worked harder each time, his silent perseverance only fueling Madame Fash's frustration and envy. One fateful day, Madame Fash left Yemi and Tunde in charge of the shop. When she returned, she overheard an argument. Yemi was accusing Tunde of giving a customer the wrong change. Instantly, she knew her son was at fault, but the sight of Yemi boldly confronting Tunde enraged her. "Yemi, why are these clothes not properly arranged?" she snapped, deflecting the situation. Without giving him a chance to explain, she launched into one of her tirades, belittling him in front of the other workers. "You think you're so smart? You're nothing. Just wait and see. Nothing good will come out of you." Yemi's heart ached, but he continued working with the same diligence. As time went on, strange things began happening. Money started disappearing from Madame Fash's cabinet. Small amounts at first, but soon escalated. She was known to be meticulous with her finances, and this sudden loss felt like a betrayal. Her mind raced to one conclusion. Yemi. Yes, Yemi must be the thief. She convinced herself that Yemi was stealing to take care of his sick mother. Her hatred and envy for Yemi made her think of him as the only culprit. The suspicion grew, turning into a twisted obsession. She wanted him to be the thief so badly that will make him less perfect. Desperation drove Madame Fash to seek out a native doctor. The journey took her deep into the heart of a remote village where the native doctor's shrine lay hidden in a very thick forest. The air around the shrine was thick, almost suffocating, filled with the scent of burning herbs and the air hum of incantations. Dark wooden skulls line the walls, their hollow eyes watching as Madame Fash explained her problem. The native doctor, a man of few words, handed her a pouch of white powder. "This white powder will reveal the thief," he whispered, his voice barely audible. "Whoever touches the money will go mad." Her hands trembled as she accepted the pouch. The thought of Yemi going mad made Madame Fash very happy. That too goody-goody boy that thinks he knows it all will go mad for daring to steal from me, she thought, smiling deeply. And all his dreams will die a natural death. Without hesitation, she followed the native doctor's instructions. The next morning, she sprinkled the white powder over the money in her cabinet, confident that she would soon catch Yemi red-handed. But that evening, chaos erupted. Screams echoed through the neighborhood as Madame Fash rushed out of her home on hearing the screams. The sight that greeted her was her worst nightmare. There, in the middle of the street, stood Tunde. His clothes were torn, his eyes wild, and in his hands he clutched crumbled notes of money. He muttered incoherently, his once sharp mind lost to madness. The realization hit her like a sledgehammer. Tunde had been the one stealing from her, and she had unknowingly condemned Yemi. Her knees buckled. The weight of her mistake, born from jealousy and envy, crushed her spirit. She fainted on the spot. When she woke up in the hospital bed, the memory of Tunde's madness sent waves of terror through her. Desperate, she jumped up from the bed and rushed back to the native doctor, her voice frantic as she begged for a reversal of the cause. But his response was cold, final. He said, "It cannot be undone." She could not believe her ears. Cannot be undone? Her wails could be heard so loudly in the thick forest. What has she done to herself? What has she done to herself? She wailed. Her world spiraled into chaos. She sought out so many native doctors, spending fortunes in a futile attempt to save her son. With every false hope, her business crumbled bit by bit. Customers stopped coming by, the apprentices left, and soon Madame Fash was a shadow of her former self. Her once proud empire lay in ruins, just like her broken heart. Tunde's madness only worsened with time. Every day, she watched her son, her only child, roam the streets, lost in his own mind. The guilt ate away at her, and she withered under the guilt of it, until one cold evening, she passed away quietly in her sleep, her body finally giving in to the guilt that had consumed her soul. Yemi, having left Madame Fash's employ long before her final downfall, thrived in his new business. He had become the successful man Madame Fash had once feared he would be. But despite the hurt he carried, Yemi never forgot Tunde. He tried to help Tunde by taking him to a mental hospital, but Tunde always escaped, disappearing into the streets of Lagos. Until this day, Tunde wanders those streets, a shadow of what he could have been, lost to the mistakes of a mother who let jealousy lead her to ruin. The story of Madame Fash teaches us that jealousy and unchecked suspicion can destroy everything we hold dear. When we allow envy and resentment to cloud our judgment, we risk hurting those we love and losing what we've worked so hard to build. True strength lies in lifting others up, not tearing them down. Choose trust and kindness over bitterness, for the cost of jealousy is often more than we can bear.